When my boys were younger and I told them to do something, I'd get that standard response, do we have to? And my reply, which they always loved, was, you don't have to, you get to. Well, over the past year, we've been told about a lot of things we have to change. And like we said, we're flipping the script on the past year. We're not going to talk about what we have to change. Our second thing of 7 that we can do is we get to change. And so we're going to look at change in a little bit of a different way. Maybe the word we'll use that's been thrown around a lot lately is disruption, disrupt. We're going to look at how we can disrupt our lives in a positive way. Using the story of Mark chapter 2 of the paralyzed man who had 4 friends who wanted to help him out so badly that when they got to Jesus, they found he was surrounded by a crowd. They couldn't get into the house, and they had to disrupt a little bit. They tore open the roof of the house so they could lower their friends to Jesus. And instead of Jesus rebuking them for destroying whoever's house they were in, Jesus commended them and saw their faith and said, now your friends' sins are healed. Totally different conversation there on how the people reacted to him forgiving sins. But what we want to focus on is their disruption, the major change that they brought into the scene when they tore open the roof of that house. See, sometimes we're faced with maybe desperate situations, desperate times, and we're forced to come up with what would otherwise be unthinkable solutions. Sometimes desperate times call for desperate measures, as the saying goes. And we might have some things in our lives that were previously unthinkable, but because of our desperate times, now they become plausible, things that we'd actually consider. So as you think about 7 things you can do, think about how you can disrupt your life a little bit in these times. We've already had our lives seriously disrupted as it is. We're working from home. We're doing school from home. Parents unable to go to work sometimes because they have to stay home and school their kids. We've got a lot of disruption. So how can we flip that script and look for some positive disruption, things that may have in the past been unthinkable? Maybe there's a job change. You've been in a stable, comfortable job for a long time, and you think, maybe this is the time to start thinking about a disruption in my job or my career. Maybe it's time to think about going back to school, adding new skills, starting something new. Where in your life have you had some goals, hopes, dreams that have been unthinkable in the past, but because your life has been already so disrupted that you think maybe some of these things aren't so unthinkable after all? Maybe there's some financial goals that you've wanted to tackle and achieve that have been unthinkable, undoable. And man, have we not all seen some financial challenges over the past year that we've had to go through? And so if we can go through some of those things, maybe there's other financial challenges that we're now either up to, or we just see them in a different light, because we know that if we can make it through the last year, we can make it through anything. So flip the script, think about positively. Where can you disrupt your life? Where can you change and tackle some things that you would not have tackled before? What is keeping you? Are there some dreams that you've had for a long time that you've just thought they're too big, too impossible? What's keeping you from disrupting things and tackling those impossible dreams? Are you more willing this year, after all the change that we've gone through, to make some bigger changes? Or do you have a little bit of change fatigue and you say, I just can't even think about making changes in my life right now? But let's look at what we can do. And maybe it's just we can have some conversations and we can reevaluate some things that maybe because life is so different this year, they're no longer, nothing's unthinkable. A year ago, some things were unthinkable, that now nothing is unthinkable after what we've been through. So what disruptions can you make in your life? What are the things that you can do? Leave your stories, leave your comments, leave your questions in the comments section below. Look forward to hearing from you.